It's summertime. What better way to kick back and relax than to win some crypto? All you got to do is be a subscriber and like and comment on all of our videos during the months of July and August for your maximum number of entries. We'll have 17 winners and it's decentralized, so you get to pick the crypto, any coin that you want if you are a winner. So make sure you subscribe and get your chance to enter today. Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel, and boy, do we have a doozy episode for you today. A lot of news surrounding Justin Sun, Tron, the postponement of the launch from yesterday I talked about a little bit. Today we're going to go much more in depth as there's rumors swirling everywhere, and I'm going to help you guys try to get down to the bottom of what could actually be happening. We're also going to be taking a look at a lawsuit at a co-founder of Ethereum. We're taking a look at altcoins and where they're at in comparison to their all-time high. Also going to be talking about Bitfinex, their case with the New York Attorney General, and many, many more. But first, let's jump into the markets. Market Watch. All right, guys, today the market's coming in at $278, almost $79 billion. Bitcoin dominance, 65.1%. We're down another 0.1. Hopefully looking forward to get below 65% soon. The price of Bitcoin is coming in at $10,178. So we've been able to stay up over $10,000 for almost a week now. Hopefully that is a good sign. Biggest winners of the day, we have Crypto.com chain, Monocoin, Lisk, Network, and Ren. Biggest losers of the day, Tron down about 11%, was down about 13% earlier. Bitcoin Gold, and surprise, BitTorrent also down. ABBC Coin and Raven Coin all over 8% losses. We're going to be talking much more about the Tron situation at the end of the video. It's time for the Fresh 5 top news stories of the day, starting with number 5. All right, guys, found this little chart here. This isn't like brand new news or anything, but I thought this was interesting. How far are the top 20 coins from their all-time high? And did I say alt-time high? I just created a new word, but you couldn't even tell. We've got Bitcoin at 81% of its all-time, or this is what gains the project has to do to get back to their all-time high. So basically, Bitcoin needs an 81% rise to get back to their all-time high. Ethereum needs to more than 5x. XRP has to 9x. Litecoin about 2.5x, so pretty good for Litecoin. Binance Coin, the only one that's relatively easy to see it happening. It only needs a 28% gain to get back to its all-time highs. And I was just looking down here, Bitcoin SV, I'm not going to really count for numerous reasons, but it's the newest project that's on here. Cosmos also, I think, is pretty new. It has to about double here. NIM has to 26x to get back to its all-time high, so pretty crazy there. But here's the thing, guys. I see all these numbers, and I look at the ones that are the furthest from their all-time high, and like the way that I think is, man, these look like steals of deals right here, you know? Like, we're getting these things way, 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 way down at bargain basement prices. You look at Bitcoin Cash, could be one. XRP is another one, a 9x to get back to all-time highs. You know, you can see here, it is very, very, very far off. And that feels like a buying opportunity just from an investment standpoint, not from I believe in the project. I mean, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, you know, those are two projects I haven't really gone a lot in depth on my channel. I don't invest in either one of those. But I look at those numbers and say, man, those could be good values. You look at Cardano is another one. It's 16x to an all-time high. So just kind of interesting to look at where everything is in comparison to their all-time highs. It's probably going to be a while before the altcoin specifically can get back to, you know, close to those numbers. Litecoin is one that's still on my radar, is one that I think has a lot of potential to do very well in spite of the altcoin market bleeding. But definitely wanted to point this out to you guys because I thought it was a pretty interesting chart. Number 4. All right, guys, so recently Iran has announced its own gold-backed stablecoin for its government. And I reported last week about how that was weird because they had still actually banned crypto mining and crypto trading, and yet they were coming out with their own cryptocurrency. Well, now crypto mining in Iran is officially legal. Now, there are a few more steps that it has to go through before, you know, no one can get in trouble for it. It basically says the approval of crypto mining does not mean that mining cryptocurrency has gotten a full green light. They still have concerns about the use of cryptocurrency, but they're regulating and taxing cryptocurrency mining at this point, which gives it legitimacy as a virtual currency. So, you know, we're continuing to see interesting news out of Iran in regards to cryptocurrency. We'll have to see how their gold-backed stablecoin does versus the petro, which was a huge failure pegged to the oil supplies of Venezuela. Number 3. All right, guys, this is a pretty interesting story, I thought. It says crypto dark side, which is a really sensationalized headline. Basically says there's a $13 million lawsuit filed against Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin. Now, if you dig a little more into this article, it's pretty interesting because it seems like it could just be a case of someone is mad at the direction a company was going in, and he wanted to file a lawsuit in order to get back some returns. It seems kind of vengeful when you read the article. Basically, Joseph Lubin is also the founder of Consensus. Yeah, Consensus with a YS. And he's also the co-founder of Ethereum. Well, his employee Harrison Hines is filing a lawsuit basically saying he was in breach of contract. Now, why do I get the feeling that this is like revenge? Because he just didn't like the leadership of Joseph Lubin. And this has to do with a token foundry. It was a startup. It was supposed to be a token incubator. Now, this I thought was really interesting here. It says that, and I like how they sensationalize this. This is the way any person who has worked a job and then become an entrepreneur, and then you go back and you try to work another job again, this is the way every single person feels. There's a lot of businesses out there that will absolutely not hire entrepreneurs once they've owned their own business, because this is the mindset right here. Even at that time, Hines wasn't satisfied with Lubin and his way of running things. The experience was so drastic that Hines pledged to never work in a company that was under the control of someone else. Sounds like every entrepreneur ever. You don't want to work for somebody else. After you do it yourself, it's hard to ever give up that control because you always go into a business thinking about how you could run it. So I don't know. We'll just have to kind of see what this, what happens here. But I don't feel like this is the crypto dark side by any stretch of the imagination. Number 2. All right, so Bitfinex and Tether hitting back at the New York Attorney General's allegations against them with the lawsuit. We've extensively covered the lawsuit when it was announced from the state of New York towards Bitfinex. Now, here's what they're basically saying. They're fighting back against allegations that Bitfinex allowed U.S. customers to trade on there after 2017 when they were supposed to already be off. Well, to my knowledge, I feel like it was pretty recent that they absolutely said no more U.S. customers. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but we all know, right, that there are ways to trade on sites that do not allow United States customers. They're called VPNs. People use them all the time with all kinds of different trading platforms. We know BitMEX. We know Tone Vays was trading on BitMEX and actually got in trouble because he was doing it so publicly. And the U.S. government, came and cracked down on him. I believe there was some kind of crackdown. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it wasn't the government, but this is kind of one of those things where a lot of these companies are giving a wink and a smile. That was my smile. At U.S. customers saying like, oh, you're not allowed here. Come on in. That's basically what they're doing by allowing the use of VPNs. If you look at something like PokerStars that does not allow U.S. customers to play on there outside of the, PokerStars New Jersey site for online poker, they're really strict. Like, they have ways that they know if you're using a VPN, and even if your VPN is in a country that's allowed, they still block it. Trust me, I've tried so many times to get around those parameters, and I can't do it. If you know a good way, let me know. Not that I would do it, just so I would know. But, anyways, that is basically what Bitfinex is saying. That's their, their pushback against the lawsuit. We'll have to see if it works. I think companies have, there's some kind of level of due diligence they got to do to block out customers. But if they do everything they're supposed to do to keep U.S. customers from, using their site, but U.S. customers find a loophole around, I think that's a pretty good defense. But the question is, were they doing enough? And we'll just have to find out. Hold up. It's time for an IOST break. If you are earning the staking rewards for IOST, you're probably wondering where your rewards are at. Last time, for quarter number 1, the disputes for the nodes and the tier levels were done by, I believe it was the 22nd, and then rewards were dispersed on the 24th. Well, this is not the case this time. Even though the disputes were actually done a little bit earlier, the rewards are being distributed differently this quarter. Now, they're going to be distributed over a 2 to 3 week period, which should have actually started today. So there's a chance if you have, if you're staking IOST, that you have already received your rewards. there's a chance you may not receive them for 2 to 3 weeks. Now, if you think about it, if you're giving out millions and millions and millions of a token at one time, you know, what could the possibility be of the token price going down? I think you guys could probably put 2 and 2 together and figure out why, if everyone got the rewards at one time, the price could go down. There could be a lot of selling and things like that. Luckily, this time, IOST has decided that they're going to distribute the rewards differently, and they're going to spread them out over time. I think that's a much better way to do it in terms of making sure that you're not flooding the market with IOST, basically. And so I'm asking the team to put out like an official statement to kind of give out a little more in depth of, you know, their reasoning. I'm not sure if that's their reasoning for doing it, but I'm telling you why I think it's a better idea. So we're going to be hopefully getting something from IOST in the next couple of days to explain why they're doing it differently this time, and they're spreading the rewards out. But the long and the short of it is, in 2 to 3 weeks, you should have all of your rewards from IOST, and if it extends past that, then we'll have to have a different conversation. But I do trust the team. I talked about this with them this week. So definitely looking forward to hopefully getting rewards in the next couple of weeks. And like I said, if you don't receive your rewards or we don't get some more transparency, you know, from the team officially on the way they're distributing the tokens, then we'll have to dig a little bit deeper. But right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what they said and they're, you know, why they're doing everything. So be on the lookout. There should be something a little more official put out from the team here pretty soon. The #1 crypto story of the day. All right, so let's get into the big news of the day. Now, this was spread about yesterday. It started on a Chinese website, Kaiksen. I don't have no idea how to say it. But then also CoinDesk picked it up. This is on Daily Hodl, picked it up as well. Justin Sun reportedly blocked from leaving China, facing accusations of illegal fundraising. That's what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants Tron to be a scam. They want Justin Sun to be, you know, a money launderer, or the way he did the token sale. Like, you know, people want him to go to jail for that and all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. So this was everywhere last night and this morning. People were freaking out. Justin Sun can't leave China. That's why they postponed the lunch with Warren Buffett, even though they said it was kidney stones, blah, 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 blah. Well, then today, Justin Sun posts video, a live stream of him in San Francisco. So adds a little more gumption to the kidney stones story. A lot of people said, well, if he's got kidney stones, he should be in the hospital. If you know people that had kidney stones, it's only at the most extreme points where you might have to go to the hospital. It's not something you just stay in the hospital, because sometimes the thing can last for weeks. And I've been told that kidney stones are very, very, very painful. I've never had them, but they say it's like, you know, kind of close to childbirth is how much it hurts. So if he does have kidney stones, definitely wish him well. But the story is changed now from this Beijing news outlet. What they said is, at first they said, oh, he can't leave the country. He's, you know, under investigation, yada, yada, yada. But now, like, he's under government control, but he can still move around from country to country, because that makes sense, right? But we don't know what is true or not. If you want my honest opinion on what is happening right now, this is what I feel like the truth is. And I don't have anything to back this up other than my general feeling. I feel like the communist country of China does not like the notoriety that Justin Sun has been getting. They don't like the idea. He paid $5 million for a lunch with Warren Buffett that would basically benefit their office in San Francisco and is benefiting a San Francisco charity, when you got people starving in China, even though that is the government's fault to a large extent. So I think that they are pressing against Justin Sun right now. I don't think he's under official investigation. I don't think that he is, you know, being held hostage overseas, even though he's here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But I could see the angle, and we're going to talk much more extensively about this on my Beers and Bitcoins episode that'll be coming out here in a couple days. Jay Chains and I go over this whole situation and all the possibilities. But to me, it feels like the Chinese government may be looking for an angle to nail Justin Sun right now, because they are upset about the way that he's doing his business, upset the way that Tron, you know, their main office is in San Francisco now, and that he's getting all this notoriety that goes against the morals, if you will, of communist China. This is a government that you know we can't trust, right? We can't trust this government at all. And if you're coming out in favor of the Chinese government saying, go get him, then you really need to check what you believe about the Chinese government. I've talked to several people recently who have lived over there, and they, you know, the government is really out of control over there in all kinds of different ways. But what's really interesting is that if they're looking for an angle, these are the two angles that I've heard they've been looking at. Now, once again, this is all hearsay. None of this is proven. None of this is, I don't have anything to back this up other than rumors I pieced together from different websites. Now, we do know about the Tron offices being raided by police FUD that was a couple weeks ago. It wasn't even a Tron office, and the police showed up to help the people at the office, not the protesters, because of a third-party Ponzi scheme that basically took advantage of the Tron community that didn't have anything officially to do with Tron. But here are two likely angles. If they really want to go after him, they could. His app he created in China, he founded, called Peiwo, P-E-I-W-O. It's basically the Chinese Snapchat. If you didn't know, in China, they have Chinese versions of all of our apps that we have in the Western world, because there's a digital fence around China, and the users there, without using a VPN or something, cannot use our apps. So Peiwo is the Chinese Snapchat equivalent, a messaging app. And basically, it can be said that there have been many nudes that have crossed, have gone across the Peiwo network. Kind of like in America with Snapchat. Everybody knows people that use Snapchat send nudes back and forth. Like, it's a pretty common thing, I believe. I've never done it, but they could take this angle of saying this is a pornography app. I've seen basically competing reports saying that they've removed Peiwo from the Chinese app store. So if that's true, that gives a little more credence to that argument. Basically saying it's a pornographic app and he was the founder of it because people are using it. It's like if you said something, if you threaten someone on Facebook Messenger, being able to sue Facebook because someone sent a message back and forth. But go figure. The other thing is TronBet, a gambling dApp. Basically, the angle could be they could be looking at trying to get Justin Sun for encouraging illegal gambling in China, because TronBet, a third-party dApp, runs on the Tron blockchain. So those are some rumors I'm hearing. If there is anything to this story, it seems like the Chinese government would be looking for an angle. It's not necessarily anything to do with something that Justin Sun may or may not have actually done. So, this is a common example of what FUD is, right? This is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We're getting reports yesterday, confirmed Justin Sun stuck in China, multiple outlets, reporting, multiple sources, blah, blah, blah. Fake news, 100% fake news. He was in San Francisco just this morning, and I don't even think he could get on a plane last night and get to San Francisco that fast. I don't know how long a flight from China to San Francisco is, but I doubt he would have immediately left just to prove people wrong. So he's probably been in San Francisco for a few days. And so the reporting on this has been really, really, really bad. And that's one of the bad issues here, or one of the big issues here, that we don't know what's true and what's not true. To this point right now, it seems like, the kidney stone story is the only thing that can't really be disproven. All of these other stories, that none of them have any sources. So I don't know, maybe he'll put out his medical report of the kidney stones. I'm not really sure, but I am going out to San Francisco tomorrow. I'll be out there Thursday. I'm still going for Tron's, treating me to a big event, several other YouTubers and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to get more information and figure out exactly what's going on. One thing I hate is misinformation. I hate the fact that fake news gets spread on a daily basis. And I try to make my channel where we don't spread fake news. Like, if something's a rumor, I'm going to say, hey, this is a rumor. This is something I've read, but this is not confirmed. Whereas, unfortunately, CoinDesk seems to report things as absolute fact that turn out not to be absolute fact. And we see this in the general mainstream media as well. It just sucks in cryptocurrency, where we're supposed to be a transparent community, that someone like CoinDesk is contributing to this. So anyways, guys, that's all we got today. I'll be doing a video tomorrow live from well, maybe not live, but I'll definitely be doing a video tomorrow from San Francisco. So make sure to stay tuned for that. BitBoy out.